In 1975, a young, shy kid had this Bullworker. In 2022, a strong, confident man has this Bullworker. And in between the two is a story you don't want to miss. Hey, what's going on? My name is Clark Bartram. I am a 59-year-old fitness entrepreneur, and I've been in this space for my entire professional career, living off of my brand, I guess, my physique, and my ability to communicate with people is what I do, and it's what I love. This EAS ad right here, from what I understand, is the most successful ad ever in the history of fitness. It was actually shot in the order that you see it. So I was already in shape. I got out of shape. I grew all the hair on my chest and arms and everything, which was gross for me. It says right here, unretouched photos taken over a period of less than 12 weeks. So it took me about 5 months to get out of shape. And we had to send pictures to Bill Phillips just to see if I was to his liking as to what he wanted for the first shot. So this was shot like a movie. I mean, we had the precise length. So every 4 weeks, I shot up there and they took a new photo. And I remember I was competing the day after this last shot in the Muscle Mania. And I remember the girl who trained me for it, she said, Clark, this ad is gonna live forever. We need to have you looking good more for this than for the bodybuilding contest. So you got to decide where you want to peak at. So we did it for this, and sure enough, this thing became what I was known for. I've got an interesting story, and it's part of what I want to share with you today. I guess we'll call it my origin story, how it all began. And it's really an emotional story for me about how I got started in this industry. So I have to take you back, way back to when I was probably 14 years old, 1970 something. I'm not even sure what the year was. I was a poor kid. We didn't have a lot. Great friends, great family, and this idea that there was something bigger for me in the world, and I didn't know exactly what it was, but I'm living it right now. We're here in my house, and it's full of magazine covers, and I've got my dream gym and everything that I've ever wanted. There's no one in the history of Iron Man magazine. I am the only person to have been on a cover of Iron Man by myself, with my wife, and then with my daughter. No one else has ever done that. I've been on 3 or 4, maybe 3 covers with my wife. They're over there. And then this, they have the whole article, Retro Role Model, How Iron Dad Clark Bartram Forges Family and Physique at 45. God, that seems like I was old, but that was so long ago. There's an Italian Iron Man right there. So I think between me and Arnold and Mike O'Hearn, we've been on more Iron Man covers than anybody. This is my most recent cover, so I'm still working to be on covers to this day. This one, it took them hours to paint me gold. But one thing I was adamant about in my career, I didn't ever let people Photoshop my pictures. Mine are all reals, right? Oh yeah, you look like that because you're Photoshopped. Come on, man, you know better than that. It started for me one day, and I can take you back to that day and tell you the story of how I got started in the industry. So there were 4 of us, myself, Tim Gillis, Scott Pizzuti, and Eddie Beadle. And we had a product called the Bullworker, and I actually have it right here. It's in my garage, and I want to share that with you. We had one, and we had this idea to see who could get the buffest. So we traded this little device around that I don't even know where it showed up from. Suddenly we just had this thing in our house. I don't know who bought it, who owned it, but we had this idea to challenge each other to see who gets strong. Because back then, you started seeing Arnold and these different bodybuilders and the world's strongest man and these different events on TV on Wide World of Sports. So we traded this Bullworker around each week. So we got it for a week, and I remember I wanted to see if I could get my biceps really big, because that was kind of like my thing. So I'm using the Bullworker, just doing stuff. I remember there was a guide that came with it, but it was all torn up, and there was a poster. The poster was in Eddie Beetle's basement. So we were using this, but then the day came to see who was gonna be the biggest guy, who was gonna be the buffest guy. So we had the showdown. It was like, you know, everyone walking in together. We had the Bullworker in our hands, because I think I was the last one to have it. So we show up on the playground of Clarendon Elementary School. I'm standing here, Tim Gillis, Scott Pizzuti, and Eddie Beetle right there. So we start showing our muscles. And I remember when it came time to me. Now, I was a really super shy kid. Super shy. It's very odd that I'm even able to speak in front of cameras right now and do what I do for a living. So that's Norm right there. That's my guy. And then that's Doug. That's my wife's guy. But Doug sleeps with me every night, and it's the Norm, get down, weirdo. So this right here, all these are me. So different fans will send me these different Batmans that they've made. So I played Batman in a short film called Batman Dead End. There's only 5 of these that exist in the world. This was made by a very famous sculptor in Hollywood. Henry Alvarez was his name. This is another movie I did, Hunter Prey. So one of the characters that I played in that film. Pretty cool. So I have this room set up so I can do podcasts out of here, so I can shoot from different areas. Like this is my main wall. I had this custom made. One life, like this is what I live by. Limit 1 per person, get busy living. And down the side here is my birthday, 10/3/1963. So my buddy Sergio Gutierrez painted this for me, and that's the backdrop to most of my podcasts or whatever. And I remember I was getting so nervous to show my muscles off, and these were my best friends. But it came around to me, and I remember flexing my bicep like this, and it looked very similar to what it does today. It had a peak, it was balled up, it looked like a softball, and immediately they started laughing at me. And they said, "Oh my God, you're deformed, look at Clark, there's something wrong with you, man." I started to cry, and I ran home. And I ran home carrying the Bullworker in my hand, I remember. And I got home, and I don't know what I did. I just probably sat there and cried and asked someone, why are they saying that I look this way? Fast forward a couple months, and I end up at the YMCA, and I'm in there. I don't know how I even ended up there, but I met this really big, fit black man by the name of Henry McGee. And he was a trainer, an instructor there, and he walked over to me, and I told him the story of me using this Bullworker device and then showing off the muscle that I thought I had gained from it from a week, but you know, I just was genetically predisposed to look a certain way, I guess. But he looked right at me and he said, "No, son, there's nothing wrong with you at all. As a matter of fact, you have potential. You have massive potential. The ability that you have to be a champion bodybuilder is unlike anything that I've seen around here. I want to encourage you to continue to lift weights, continue to use that product, and continue to be someone who is striving for more, regardless of what anyone says." So that's exactly what I did. So my typical day looks like this. I'll wake up between 4:30 and 5 a.m. What I do is I feed my mind before I consume any media. No news, no Instagram, no TikTok, no nothing until I pour into my mind, because here's the reality. The world that we live in is constantly throwing stuff at us. So if we don't take time out for ourselves in the morning right away to do something for ourselves, then you become a victim of what the world is delivering to you, either directly or indirectly. So I'll wake up, I typically come in here, I'll walk right over here, and I'll sit down and just chill and meditate. I'll put on some music right there, or I'll put on some sort of YouTube motivational video, something to start feeding my mind, or I'll sit here and just meditate for a couple seconds. A lot of times I'll literally turn around right here and just get down and pray, thank God. And what I do, this is true, when I put my feet on the ground, I say my personal mission statement, and it is this: today, I will positively and powerfully affect everyone I come into contact with. So then fast forward years and years later, when the internet started to come around, Two things happened that are very specific in this story. One, the internet, and I thought to myself, I wonder if Henry McGee's still around, because by now I'm starting to get in the magazines. I got one Muscle and Fitness cover, I got a couple other covers, so people are starting to make a big deal about me in the fitness industry. Oh my God, if you got on a cover, like social media didn't exist. We weren't all famous because of Instagram. You got famous by getting on a magazine cover, and only one guy did that a month. Like, it was you against 5 or 6 other guys, and whoever the best man was won. And it was obvious because you were the person on the cover, and I have over 100 of them to prove that I did the work. But I thought to myself, I wonder if Henry McGee is still around. So I type on the internet and put in his name. And sure enough, first thing that pops up is Henry McGee Muscle Dynatorium, I think was the name of his gym. And I thought, you know what, I'm gonna call this guy. So I dial it up and I hear a voice, man's voice, answer, and I said, hey, I'm looking for Henry McGee. He's like, you found him. I said, you're probably not gonna remember this, but my name is Clark Bartram, and when I was 14, 15 years old, and before I finished my statement, he said, I remember exactly who you are. I've been watching your career develop, and I'm so proud of you and what you've done. So I guess the moral of that story is you never know what encouraging words you give to someone are gonna do for them. Because, I mean, look at what I'm doing now. There are people filming me right now in this moment about this product that started my process. Alrighty, so my famous super shake that I make. So these are all my supplements. I actually have my own brand, CBX, Clark Bartram Systems. Build one of these bad boys. Alrighty, so they all start with oat milk. I have no reason behind it. Really what I like about it is the creaminess of this. It's thicker. Then, this is vital right here. This is the key. The key to these shakes is frozen bananas. I don't use ice in my shakes. I don't like that. I use frozen bananas. I take 1 scoop of glutamine. Wow. I take 1 scoop of my collagen. Actually, I take 2 scoops of that. Wow. I use the glutamine for recovery, gut health. And I also use my Easy Greens. And then I add 1 scoop of my vanilla. Get out of my way. Boom. Sponsor me since I'm talking about your blender here. I'm really weird. I always do it for 20 seconds. I guess maybe I'm a little bit OCD or something. I don't know. Look at the thickness of that bad boy. That's money. About 10 years ago, I'm back visiting in Canton, Ohio. And Chris Beadle, Eddie Beadle's brother, who has since passed, said, Clark, oh my gosh, I found something in the basement. I didn't think this was gonna get real like this. She said, I found something in the basement that you need to have. And I'm gonna grab this real quick. She said, the Bullworker is down there. And this is it right here. And it might seem weird to you that I'm getting emotional about this, but like this frickin' thing right here started my entire career. Like, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing today, maybe if this thing didn't exist. So she went down into the basement and she ran up all excited to give this to me. And I was like, wow, man, this is crazy. This is the thing right here. I don't know how I did it as a little kid because it's hard, but I can remember just sitting there and at home and just like trying to get my biceps big, just like this right here. So she gave it to me and I took it over to my buddy's house that I was staying at, and I was gonna ship it home and I didn't. So then I was like, I wonder if Bullworker's still around. Like, does this company still exist? So I Googled Bullworker. Sure enough, it pops up with a new version, the different versions, improved versions. great instruction manuals and all that sort of stuff. I'm like, oh my God, this is crazy. This company still exists. This is like 1974 that I had this freaking thing. The only thing that's not on this is the little guide. There was some tape down here with numbers, and then there was a little thing, because I remember we would push it and then that guide thing would stay there, and you say, oh, I got 70, how much can you get? That's the only thing that's not on here, some tape and that little deal, and I'm sure I could replace it. So anyway, it was in my buddy's basement, and then after I Googled to see if Bullworker was still around, I couldn't find it. I didn't remember where I left it. So I called Chris Beadle, I said, do you have the Bullworker? She's like, no, Clark, I gave it to you. And I said, I don't have it. It's not here. So I called Tim Gillis. I'm like, dude, do you have the Bullworker? He's like, no, I looked all around. I'm like, what happened to the Bullworker? Where did it go? I have to get this thing. And that's probably why it hit me emotionally just now, is because I was searching for this thing after it was revealed. It was dug up out of the basement. And then I said, you know what? I'm gonna ask Rich. So I called up my buddy Rich. I said, hey Rich, do you have the Bullworker? He's like, yeah, it's down in the basement. You left it here like 10 years ago. He knew it was there the whole time, and I just didn't ever ask. So it's probably been maybe 3-4 weeks ago, this thing showed up. And then I thought to myself, I'm gonna reach out to Bullworker. I'm gonna take a picture and show them that I made it in this industry, and this right here is what started the whole entire thing. This was my first experience with lifting weights. This was my first experience with building muscle. This was my first experience with competition in the muscle space. So I stood right here in front of this famous ad that everyone knows. I'm like, I'm gonna get these guys' attention. They're gonna know who Clark Bartram is and how the Bullworker had affected them. I wanna see what happens, because I'm a marketer. I'm a guy that really loves creating things and collaborating with companies that are doing the right thing. And here's what I found out really quick. Bullworker is doing the right thing. They immediately sent me the new product, and I'm gonna go grab it. So they immediately sent me this one right here, and here is what I was talking about, right here. This was the only thing that's missing on this one, and I'm sure I can get some tape. I'm sure they'll send it to me, but this is it, man. Still the exact same thing. This one's a little bit taller, handles are a little bit bigger, but there it is, man. Okay, so this is my recovery station back here. I've got the dry sauna. I come in here probably 3-4 times a week, and inside the dry sauna I've got the red light therapy and the infrared therapy as well. So I'll put this thing up to about 140 degrees, stay in here for like 20 minutes or so, and I'll go from here over to my cold plunge. So I got this set at 50 degrees. That's nice and cold, and I'll stay in here for 5-7 minutes. This thing is fantastic, man. I'm gonna say that this contrast therapy, the hot and the cold, I've been able to boost my testosterone naturally, like 100 points. I went from 721 to 875, that's even more than 100, by doing this. So I'm 100% drug-free, no TRT, no PRP, no nothing, genetics and lifestyle. Then I use my pool, and I'm gonna get a hot tub to go here as well. So recovery is important. A lot of people don't take the time to do recovery, but at my age, at any age really, if you're an active person, if you're a person who wants to remain consistent in the gym, recovery is vital. So cold is something that people don't do because it's just uncomfortable. But that's the exact reason I do it, because it's uncomfortable. You do things that you don't want to do in order to get to where you want to go. So the cold thing really has helped me a lot. So they sent it out to me, and I said, you know, we have to tell this story, because there's no one on planet Earth that can tell this story. I'm literally the only person that I think exists that has achieved what I've achieved in the industry. And I'm not saying that bragging, I'm saying that proud, that I worked my butt off, man, to get to where I'm at. And I'm proud to say that this product got it started. And now here it is in 2022. Let me say this real quick. Imagine this for a second. Let's say it was 1974. Imagine a young kid, shy, standing on the playground with his friends, and a fairy godfather came to and said, listen, son, in the year 2022, you're gonna be talking to this company and working with this company and talking about this product that got you started. I mean, imagine that, 1974, 75. Fast forwarding to the year 2022, and here I am sitting with the exact freaking piece of equipment that got me on my path with the newest version of that. We can't think this way. You'll have phones that you can talk to people from across the other side of the earth. You'll have phones that shoot video. This is not something that we can think about. But anyway, that's the origin story of how I got started in the industry. And it was this simple thing right here: some metal, some springs, some handles, and a couple cables, and a goal and a dream to look a certain way. And here we are in 2022, shooting this video, speaking to people, telling you this: go after your dreams. Don't let anything hold you back, your own insecurities, your own shyness, your own fear, your own anxieties. Believe in what is possible and take risks. Don't worry about reaching out to somebody, because the worst thing they can do is say no, and the best thing they can do is say, here you go. We believe in you and we want to hear your story. We want you to share your story with the world. So I could go on and on, but there's more that we could talk about. My goal and hope is that this will continue to unfold. But I'd like to show you my life, my lifestyle, all the other tools that were birthed out of this thing, everything that now is part of my arsenal and what I do, the things that I eat, my office, my home gym. It's just kind of a get to know me thing. And this is to me, this is a feel good story about what is possible in life with something so basic and so simple. One of the things I really like with the Bullworker for abs is something that I see people doing wrong in gyms all the time. Let me show you the two different things here. Rope crunches, right? We see them all the time. People are working their abs, or they think they're working their abs. So they come here, they load it up with a bunch of weight, they get down on their knees, and they go like this. To me, you are not working your abs when you're doing this. You're working your hip flexor. So the ideal way to do this movement is to contract from your sternum to your belly button. So it's this, just like that. That's how you work your abs on this. So what I do with the Bullworker, watch this. This naturally puts you in that position to where you will do this without making the mistake that people do. So I put my arms out. Look at that. It's exactly what I was doing over there. I can't, it's arms straight out, exhaling and contracting. Sternum to the belly button, just like that. Then if I want, I could go off to the side, get the intercostals, the obliques, and all that right here. This is a phenomenal ab workout, man. So I train people right here and I watch how people respond to different things. There's less of a learning curve with this than me teaching exactly the same movement on a cable machine. There's less of a learning curve. I'm contracting from here to here. I can feel it, what I want. It's like that. Another one I like is I'll take it, holding it in the isometric position and turning it. So I'm getting my chest, I'm getting my shoulders, I'm getting my biceps, I'm getting my core, my abs, and everything, just right here. And that's not as easy as it looks. That's the real deal, man. So I'm gonna take you through a really quick chest workout, something that I'll do. Typically I'll choose 4 to 5 different exercises depending, and on what I want and how hard I want to go, but dumbbells are always a good option. So I'll change from week to week. I had mentioned that I don't count reps, I don't count sets. I also don't have a set routine. Honestly, I'll just do whatever I feel like doing. So today I'll just do some light flat bench, dumbbell presses right here. And you know, for me, the big thing is time under tension and mind-muscle connection. It's not necessarily how much weight I'm lifting, because I'm a firm believer that I could go to pretty much any gym in America and take most of the people in there and slow down their reps and teach them mind-muscle connection and improve their workout for sure. So nice and slow, coming up and really squeezing my chest right here. So I want to show you how I would incorporate the Bullworker into this. So I'll do a set, and let's say I'm going to hit 12 repetitions right here, and then I'm going to finish this set, and then what I'll do is I'll walk over and then grab the Bullworker and finish that set with this. So I'll come in here and do an isometric hold for 7 seconds. People don't incorporate this type of thing into their workout enough, in my opinion. So there, I've completed that hold. Now I'll just come in and rep this out. And I can change the resistance on it because they've made it so I could change the spring on the inside. I could also do this laying down flat on that bench right here, taking my legs and everything out of the equation. So if I want to come down here, and now from here, hold, and then pump it out. Boom. That's a great little addition to those dumbbell presses. So this I could do after each set or just after one set or whatever I want to do. So I like to start and finish with the isometric hold. Right there. Oh, and then we're done. So then I'll mix up a machine right here. Get a decent little weight. Now that I'm using a machine, I can go a little bit heavier if I want, because there's really no risk of injury as far as dropping a dumbbell on myself or whatever. Need more range of motion, so I just put the seat out a little bit further. Right there. So now I'm just changing the angle, changing the exercise. That's how simple it is to alter your workout. Change the angle, change the exercise. Change the tempo, change the exercise. Throw the Bullworker in there, change the whole deal. It worked at 14, still works at 59. Oh yeah. My entire workout, no BS, takes me probably 20 minutes maximum and I'm out of the gym. So now this one, my gym is the best gym I know. I mean, this is air. I'll plug this in. Makes a little bit of noise. So now I'll do my flies. The beauty of this Kaiser equipment is I can go as fast or as slow as I want to go. There's no weights that are banging and clanging around. So right here for me, like I'm thinking stretch. Like I know exactly where I want my muscle to contract. I'm so connected mind muscle. Like right now, I contracted my chest already right there. Just like that. So for me, it's about control. Here's the truth. I'm gonna let you know a little bit of a secret. I wanna spend the least amount of time and get the most results I possibly can in the gym. Like, I don't really enjoy working out. I enjoy the results, but I'm not like a lot of my buddies that live in the gym, that wanna be in there all the time. I'm trying to get in and out and get the best result I can. Here. Better. You can see everything working more this way. It's no joke. Isometrics, really, hey look, if isometrics were good enough for Bruce Lee, they're good enough for me. So that rhymed. And then if playing around with this thing, naturally, if you give this to someone, they're just gonna automatically do this archer pose. But if you look, I mean, I'm even working like this muscle right here. So just play with it. Rear delts and posture is something that people don't work. So if I'm here and I'm just holding this isometrically out like that, I'm working all of this posterior chain in my back, which is gonna help me with posture. So here, boom, like that. I'm standing up straight, holding it. So now I'm contracting all of this back here, which is gonna bring me back and up and tall. You're only limited by your imagination with this product. You don't need all of this. And I'm grateful for all of this, but this will work. But my benefit, my personal benefit from this is my personal training clients love it. I put people against the wall for posture. I have them doing different things. I'm like, how can I incorporate this into what I'm already doing with them? Because I run out of ideas when I'm training with my clients. So if I throw this in and just say, hold this, now I've added a new element, which really is getting them. You can see, look at my shoulders. Look at them. I mean, they're, I can even, just play, have fun, be a kid, be 14 again on the playground. Raise it all the way up. One of my coaching clients got me this here, and he stays right there. Elbows out for chest. And I'm very precise. Like I come down when I do these, I like touch my chin, and I know that's my full, like boom, just like that. So here's the truth. I feel it already in my chest. Like I feel pumped already. There's no need, in my opinion, to spend more than an hour in a gym. Most people aren't bodybuilders. Most people aren't going to stand on a stage. So why would you invest more than an hour in the gym when you could be doing other things? Unless you just enjoy it in there. But my point in saying all of that is, a lot of people waste a lot of time. What the Bullworker does, in my opinion, to bring it back to that, gives you the ability to add an element to your workout that you couldn't do with anything else in the gym. Like there's not, I saw a guy using the inner outer machine, you know what the women use like that? He's pushing it together like this. You can get the smaller Bullworker and do that same thing. You could travel with it. You could have little competitions in your family like I did when I was 14 years old. Let's see who can squeeze this and do it longer. And I wanted to talk about the product again because that's really why we're here. It's about me sharing with you a little bit of my life and what I've been able to do and accomplish and where it all started. And I just really want to say thank you to Bullworker for getting me on a path that has led me to where I'm at today. I inspire men from all around the world. I coach them, I teach them, and I help them understand that we can get in shape regardless of where we're at. We can do things that we thought might not be possible if we just take action on those things. And that's the overarching theme in all of this for me, is take action on your dreams, take action on your goals, take action on the body you want, take action on being a good dad, a better husband, a better person. Just take action on what you want in life, just like we took action shooting this video, doing this workout, sharing this story, making the shake, meeting my dogs, and what I do every day in life. It was simply a thought that was put into action. Now you're experiencing it right now in this moment. Had we not taken that action, this would not be in front of you right now today. So that's it for me, man. Clark Bartram coming to you from my dream gym at my house here in Southern California. That's it. Go out there and live your dreams. Get busy living.